The Persians couldn't believe what they were seeing. Across the plain, the Greek army was running toward them, not marching, not advancing, running. Thousands of heavily armed warriors charging straight at the most powerful empire on earth. It made no sense. Persian commanders watched in disbelief. Their enemy was closing the distance far faster than expected, and yet the Greeks kept coming. Persian archers rushed into position. Orders echoed across the battlefield. Then the sky turned black. Thousands of arrows rose into the air and came crashing down upon the advancing Greeks. Men fell, shields splintered, spears snapped beneath the impact, but the charge never stopped. Every second, the Greeks moved closer. The Persians expected fear. Instead, they saw determination. The distance vanished. Then the armies collided. Bronze slammed against wicker shields. Spears struck armor. War cries echoed across the plain. The sound of battle spread across Marathon. Within moments, one of the most famous battles in history had begun. By sunset, an empire would suffer a stunning defeat. A city would be saved, and the future of Greece would be changed forever. But the Battle of Marathon did not begin on this battlefield. Its story started years earlier, with a king who wanted revenge, a king whose empire stretched across continents, a king who had not forgotten a humiliating insult. Because long before Persian soldiers landed on the shores of Greece, the seeds of war had already been planted, and soon both sides would be fighting for far more than victory. They would be fighting for survival. Years before the battle, a small group of Greek cities made a decision that would change history. They chose to support a revolt against the Persian Empire. At the time, it seemed like a minor event, a distant conflict on the edge of a vast empire. But far away in Persia, one man never forgot the insult. His name was Darius, King of Kings, ruler of the largest empire on earth, and now he wanted revenge. The Persian Empire stretched across 3 continents. Its armies had conquered powerful kingdoms, destroyed rival empires, and expanded farther than any state before it. To many people, Persia seemed unstoppable. Athens, by comparison, was tiny, a single city-state challenging a giant. The outcome appeared obvious, so Darius gave the order. A fleet would cross the Aegean Sea. Athens would be punished. Its people would learn what happened to those who defied Persia. And in 490 BC, the invasion began. One by one, Greek islands submitted to Persian authority. Some cities surrendered without a fight. Others resisted and paid the price. Then the Persians reached Eretria. The city chose to resist. It didn't matter. After a short siege, Eretria fell. Its people were taken away into captivity. Its fate sent a terrifying message across Greece. When news reached Athens, fear spread throughout the city. Everyone understood what was coming next. The Persian army was heading directly toward them. Athens faced a simple choice: fight or surrender. There was no third option. The Athenians chose to fight, but they faced a serious problem. Their army was small. The Persians greatly outnumbered them, and Sparta, the strongest military power in Greece, could not arrive in time to help. Athens would largely stand alone. Then the Persian fleet appeared off the coast near Marathon, a wide plain located not far from Athens itself. It was the ideal landing site. Thousands of Persian soldiers came ashore. More ships arrived behind them, then more and more. The invasion had arrived. Soon afterward, the Athenians marched out to meet them. Around 10,000 hoplites advanced across the countryside. Farmers, citizens, warriors, men who understood the odds stacked against them, men who knew defeat could mean the destruction of their city, yet none of them turned back. For days, the 2 armies watched one another across the plain. Neither side launched an attack. Both sides waited. The Persians believed time favored them. The Greeks understood that every passing day increased the danger. Sooner or later, someone would have to act. Then the Athenians learned something alarming. The Persians appeared ready to move. If their fleet sailed around Marathon, Athens itself could be attacked directly. Suddenly, there was no more time for caution, no more time for waiting. The Greeks had one chance, one battle, one desperate gamble, and on the following morning, they would do something the Persians never expected. They would run straight at an empire. As the sun rose over Marathon, the Greeks formed their battle line. Around 10,000 men stood shoulder to shoulder across the plain, farmers, citizens, warriors, facing the might of the Persian Empire. Across the battlefield, the Persians watched confidently. Their army was larger, their empire stronger. Victory seemed inevitable. Then, the Greeks began to move. At first, it looked like a normal advance, slow, steady, disciplined. But then they moved faster and faster and faster, until thousands of hoplites were running directly towards the Persian army. The Persians could hardly believe what they were seeing. Nobody attacked like this. Nobody charged across open ground toward Persian archers. Yet the Greeks kept coming. The order was given. Persian archers released their arrows. The sky darkened as thousands of shafts flew toward the advancing Greeks. Men fell. Shields splintered. Spears broke. But the charge never stopped. Every second closed the distance. Every step brought the Greeks closer to hand-to-hand combat. Then the armies collided. Bronze slammed into wicker shields. Spears crashed against armor. War cries echoed across the plain. The battle had become a brutal struggle at close range, and this was exactly what the Greeks wanted. At first, the Persian center pushed forward. Greek soldiers in the middle of the line began to give ground. For a moment, it appeared the Persians might break through, but this was part of the Greek plan. While the Persian center advanced, the Greek wings were winning. Slowly but relentlessly, they pushed their opponents backward. Then they turned inward. Suddenly, the Persians found themselves under attack from multiple directions. What had looked like success moments earlier was becoming a disaster. Panic spread through the Persian ranks. Formations broke apart. Soldiers began retreating toward the coast. Thousands ran for the safety of their ships. Others fled into nearby marshes, where many became trapped. The retreat quickly turned into chaos. The mighty army of the Persian Empire was collapsing. By afternoon, the battle was over. Against overwhelming odds, Athens had won. The Persian invasion had failed, and Greece had survived. But the danger was not yet gone. The Persian fleet still controlled the sea. Many Athenians feared it would sail directly to Athens and attack the city, while its defenders remained at Marathon. So the exhausted Greek army did something extraordinary. After fighting one of the most important battles in its history, it immediately marched back toward Athens, as fast as it could. And when the Persian fleet finally appeared near the city, the defenders were already waiting. The Persians saw the Greek army in position and realized the opportunity had vanished. They turned away. The invasion was over. The Battle of Marathon became one of the most famous victories of the ancient world. A small Greek army had defeated one of history's greatest empires. Athens was saved, Greece survived, and the victory inspired generations to come. This was more than a battlefield success. It was the day an empire was stopped,